Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and sometimes other topics, which of course filters in, but brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, just want to welcome everybody into the show Friday and like always, Friday live at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We all survived that hurricane slash tropical storm. There was quite a bit of damage in LA, but not going to make this a news thing at all. But thank goodness it's minimal here where I am. Shout out to Avatar, always leading off here on the show. What's up, Broncos country and 2023 NBA champs Nuggets Nation? Absolutely. Avatar, I don't know if I mentioned this to you last week or if you were, I don't think you were present. I think it was your birthday. Anyway, just want to say happy birthday to you. Hope it went well. Hope you had a wonderful time. And, just hope it was a great day for you, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for being in the chat as always. All right, guys. Let's start off with last week's second preseason game. My gosh. I mean, okay. First off, I want to clarify something. I understand it's preseason. I know that the object of preseason is to evaluate the players that are going to be the best on your team. I get that. But it's also, in my opinion, it's also to get the starters into primetime game speed, game hitting, game taking shots, game action. The new plays that Sean Payton's putting in, all that kind of stuff. You've got to have continuity with your starters. So when you only play, and I'll get into that in a minute, but I understand you have to evaluate players. I get that. But when Sean Payton publicly comes out and says, I don't want to lose a single game. I want to instill in every single one of these players and coaches that every single game, every single practice, we play to win. Hello? Not the first two preseason games. Not the first two preseason games have gone that way. Not at all. Absolutely not at all. And I know it's third string and blah, blah. I get it. But if these guys are wanting to make the team, even as a backup or even on the practice squad, they have to do their job. And they're not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. Let me get into it. Once again, the Broncos were in a game that was lost on the last drive, this time by the 49ers. Zach Stevens of DNVR put it this way, and I quote, just a repeat of last year. There you go, guys. A repeat of last year. Now, no, the starters didn't play last year, but the results are still the same. I think that's what Zach Stevens is trying to emphasize. It's the exact same result. Absolutely the same result, okay? One score game. Defense chokes at the end. My gosh, have we seen this replayed over and over and over in the last 6 seasons? Yes, we have. Absolutely have. Not just in preseason, but in regular season when it counts. That's what hurts the most. If we start doing this in preseason, and again, guys, don't start harping on the fact that, well, it's preseason and it's third string at 6. I get that. But like I mentioned, if these guys want to make the team or any team down the road, if they get cut, they need to play well. And they're not doing that. They're letting the last drive of the opponent, i.e. Arizona and 49ers, go down the field and score the winning field goal, as in 49ers, or the winning touchdown and 2-point conversion by Arizona. That's your result. 18-17, preseason 1, 21-20, preseason 2. Same result, same. It's a carbon copy. I have to agree with Zach Stevens. I'm sorry, guys. I have to agree with him. There's no other way to put it. Oh, I know. Okay, guys, let's just throw the preseason out the window and move on to regular season. Well, what happened last year? Last year we didn't play as starters. And the result was a 5-12. This year, we're playing starters somewhat. I'll get into that because that frustrates me too. But results are the same. We're not getting any solid play from our second and third string. Well, guess what, guys? If players go down, and I'll get into that too tonight. You bet your bottom dollar I will. Guys go down, you need to have those backups that can perform. Not just be a body in the defense or the offense. No, they need to perform at a high level, the NFL level, not college level. No, not at all college level. How many college players play in college? Or how many players play in college and don't make it to the pros? 99% of them don't. Why? Because they're not good enough. When you get to the NFL level, you need to be in that NFL level. And I'm not seeing that from these guys in the first two preseason games. I'm sorry, I'm not. I continue. Zach Stevens also said, I thought Sean Payton was supposed to put points on the board so games wouldn't be one score, end quote. Okay. All right, let's put the blame on Sean Payton. How? How can you put the blame on Sean Payton? Does he throw a pass? Does he drop a pass, wide open field? Does he not execute the plays? No, he can only call the plays and do what he can do from the sidelines. It's up to Russell Wilson. It's up to Jared Stidham. It's up to what's his name, DeLucia. It's up to him to get the play correct. It's up to the receivers to make the play. That's what I'm talking about. These guys need to step up. It's with any job. If you want to move yourself up the ladder, proverbial ladder, in any job or career, you need to work your tail end off. You need to be better than the next guy who wants your spot. And I'm not seeing that with these guys. I'm not. Absolutely not seeing it. And that frustrates me because here we go again, guys, going into a 7th year removed from a Super Bowl championship, Super Bowl 50. How good did that team look? Phenomenal. And Sean Payton comes in. He's trying to right the ship. He's trying to get things corrected, and bam. And people say, hey, it's only 1 point. If we would have done this, if we would have done that, well, guess what? If, then you would have won 17 straight games. You can't go by if. You got to go by what is there. And what is there is not good enough in this guy's opinion. Okay? It's only my opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. You can go out there and look at all the other, comments and whatnot, and they're probably praising the Broncos because they're only 1 point loss, and it was the third string. Okay, that's great. That's not how I see it. That's not how I want to see it. I want to see wins. All right. Sean Payton on Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was supposed to play at least 20 to 24 snaps against the 49ers. However, he only played 12 snaps on one drive. Payton said after the game, and I quote, that was the plan all the time. Well, wait a minute. Payton said, and I quote, that was the plan all the time? No. Payton, you just got through saying that you wanted to play Russell Wilson 20 to 24 snaps, and you only played 12. That's half of that. Why would you sit there and say that was your plan all along when you went and told the media that you want him to play 20 to 24 snaps? Oh, and by the way, that drive only resulted in a field goal, not a touchdown. So if you were so adamant on getting Russell Wilson to get credit for a touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals on 4th down, and then against the 49ers, he only plays 12 snaps and has a drive that resulted in a field goal, and you pull him? I'm not understanding, Sean. I'm not getting your mindset. Don't tell us one thing and do another. You've been doing that all along. You told the players not to talk to the media. Then you go out there and shoot your mouth off about Nathaniel Hackett. Now you say you want Sean Payton you want Russell Wilson to play 20 to 24 snaps. You pull him out after 12 with a field goal. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it at all. I'm confused. I'm totally dumbfounded when it comes to Sean Payton at this point. I don't have any idea what direction this guy's going. He says one thing, does another. Does one thing, says another. I'm not getting it. I'm still quoting him as we go. We wanted to give Jarrett Stidham some live game reps with the first team offense before regular season games. Why? Is it because maybe Sean Payton's going to pull Russell Wilson if he's not performing? Just saying, guys. Just saying. Russell Wilson and Sean Payton don't have any allegiance. Sean Payton didn't bring Russell Wilson over. George Payton did. The other Payton did. Not Sean. He has no allegiance to Russell Wilson. So if Russell Wilson's not playing well, guess what? You're on the bench, buddy. Because you know what? You ain't performing. I'm putting somebody into the camp. Why would you give Jarrett Stidham that much, time with the first string? If he's not preparing him to come into a game, possibly, if Russell Wilson falters with the first string players. That's the only reason that I see. Why would you put him into that early? And by the way, I don't have this in my notes, but I remembered it. By the way, Sean Payton has said that he's probably not going to play the starters hardly at all tomorrow night, Saturday, against the Rams at Empower Field at Mile High. Probably not going to play the starters majority of the time. Oh, so he wanted to give Stidham time with the starters in case. Interesting. Very, very interesting, because that bothers me. That bothers me. Doesn't bother me the fact that Sean Payton would pull Russell Wilson. That doesn't bother me, because he wants the best players out there. What bothers me is if Russell Wilson isn't up to being what his contract is calling for, $250 million. That's what bothers me. And it would be a shame that were to happen. But hey, you know what? It could very, very well happen. Absolutely could very well. I continue. There isn't a quarterback controversy. This is still under quote from Sean Payton. There isn't a quarterback controversy, but if Stidham has to be called on in the regular season, we want him to have first team experience. End quote. There you go. That's exactly what I said. They want him in there because of the what if. And I understand that. You have to have your backups be ready. But when you're sitting there telling me and everybody else that you want Russell Wilson to play 20 to 24 snaps and you cut that in half and make it 12 after a field goal on one drive, and you put Stidham in there for the remainder of the first and second quarter with the first string offense, that tells me something. That tells me something big time. Read between the lines, guys. Read between the lines. Basically, what he's saying is, if Russell Wilson doesn't work out, guess what? I got my guy ready. And he loves Stidham. He absolutely loves Stidham. So, like I said, no allegiance to Russell Wilson. Just saying, guys. Just saying. All right. Welcome, Big E Bronco in the house. Glad to have you, man. He says, hope everybody's having a good night. Absolutely. Absolutely having a great night, man. Just got a lot of topics. All right. Big E Bronco says he's not prepared him to come into a game. I think it's more because he needs more reps. Okay, that's true too. I will agree with that. Yes, he does need more reps. But now, does he need more reps with the first string if he's not going to be coming in with the first string? Or could he just have more reps with the second string? That's my question. See, he's having more reps with the first string, which, I mean, I understand that if he's called upon and needs to go in because Russell Wilson, this, that, or the other, which I hope doesn't happen. But should it happen? Yes, I agree. He does need to have reps with the first string. But not if you're going to tell everybody that he's going to play 20 to 24 snaps. Now, after 20 to 24 snaps, let's say he goes, okay, he had the first series was 12. Let's say he has the second series and he has 10. Okay, now you're at 22. All right, take him out. I get it. But not after 12. To me, that doesn't make sense. Yes, Russell Wilson was running for his life because the offensive line stinks. We know that. And I'll get into some of that in a bit too. Boy, I'm fired up about that. But anyways, I understand Russell Wilson was running for his life because he always has to with this offensive line. And yes, he made great progress and he made first downs and such. But you don't want him running and taking the shot, especially in preseason. Maybe that was part of the reason. Maybe that was part of the reason. I'll go with that. How about I just go with that? Okay, he pulled him out after 12 snaps because didn't want to get him hurt. I get it. All right, let's move on. Not good news at all. Not good news. The Denver Broncos got horrible news regarding Jalen Virgil last Saturday against the 49ers. Virgil injured his meniscus tendon on his knee and will be lost for the entire 2023 season. Here we go again, guys. Here we go again. I mean, I'm getting sick and tired of this hospital report. Seriously, I'm getting tired of it. It seems like year after year after year. And I mentioned it I believe it was last show. I feel it's the turf. Somehow, some way, it's got to be the turf or conditioning or something they're not doing correctly. These injuries are happening more and more and more, especially with the knees. Got ACL, MCL, I don't know, PSL, whatever it's called. I don't know what the other ones are. But you have now you got a meniscus on Jalen Virgil. I mean, these were not heard of when Terrell Davis played. Yes, Terrell Davis tore his ACL, but it wasn't catastrophic. Well, he came back, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't team-wide. These guys are dropping like flies. Now we don't have Virgil. We don't have KJ Hamler. We don't have Tim Patrick. Who the heck is Russell Wilson going to throw to? Cortland Sutton when he's triple teamed? Because we ain't got nobody. Oh, people say, okay, we got Mims. Okay, great. He's unproven. Okay, I mean, we got rookies out there. Yes, they can make a big impact. Absolutely, they can. I'm not saying they can't, but they're unproven. We don't know. We have no idea how they're going to perform in a game, especially if they were backup and didn't have that many snaps with Russell Wilson. Okay, maybe they'll get more snaps with Stidham, and maybe that'll work out. We don't know. I mean, my nephew mentioned to me, I said to him, holy cow, dude, who are the Broncos who's Russell Wilson going to throw to? His answer was the opposing defense. I didn't want to hear that. but all kidding aside, I mean, who's he going to throw to? Seriously. I mean, I know you have Dulcich and you have, these other receivers and stuff that Sean Payton has brought over. I understand that, but they haven't been with the system and Russell Wilson long enough. Maybe in practice, I don't know. I'm just saying. Game action, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him out there that often. Who are we going to throw to? I mean, seriously. It's unnerving. It's unnerving. We got one preseason left. That's tomorrow. Then we have a week off, and we start the season against Vegas at home September 10th. That's not that far away, guys. And the season could be over before it gets started. That bothers me because that's what happened last year. All right. The list of the Bronco players injured this offseason continues to grow. Yeah, continues to grow. And I got more. And this one, this one's okay on a good note, followed by a bad note after that. Here we go. With wide receiver Jalen Virgil out for the season with a knee injury, the Broncos have signed former XFL wide receiver Josh Hammond. According to Mike Kliss of 9 News, no terms of the contract was available at the time of his writing. And that's it. So we signed a wide receiver in Josh Hammond. Okay. What's Josh Hammond like? I don't know. I don't watch the XFL. I only watch the NFL. I don't even watch Canadian football. I mean, I know it's football. It doesn't attract me. I don't watch the XFL. I don't watch the USFL. I don't watch anything unless it says NFL. period. I mean, I'll watch college when it comes to like bowl games on New Year's Day or, those kind of things. Yeah. But pro-wise, nothing but the NFL. So I have no idea what he's like, how he plays. But then again, you're bringing him in, and he hasn't worked with Russell Wilson. How's that going to go over? I don't know. Maybe he'll be spectacular. I don't know. That's the no pun intended because he came from XFL, but that's the X factor. We don't know. It's unknown. And we're not pervious, at least I'm not, to know what's going on in the practice field and all that. So I'm just getting my news from my sources. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope it works out. But losing Jalen Virgil, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, those are devastating. I have one more wide receiver down. Yep. You guessed it, guys. Well, if you haven't guessed it, I'm going to tell you. It is Russell Wilson's favorite receiver in the preseason. Here it is. Jerry Jeudy is yet another Broncos player to be injured. Jeudy will miss several weeks with a hamstring injury. A source confirmed to 9 News that the MRI results revealed Jeudy will be sidelined several weeks with a decent chance he will not be able to play in the season opener on September 10th against the Las Vegas Raiders in Denver. Who are you going to throw it to, Russell? Who in heaven's name are you going to throw it to? You're going to throw it to Hammond. You're going to throw it to Cortland Sutton. What if they're double teamed? Throw it to Dulcich? That's fine. Jerry Jeudy, a weapon. KJ Hamler. Sorry, what did I say it was? Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Jalen Virgil, and Tim Patrick. All gone off the Broncos' offensive wide receivers. I mean, you just might as well, just, right off the season. Am I throwing in the towel? I know it sounds like it. I'm not. Okay. I'm just bringing the facts. I'm bringing the truth. Like I said at the beginning of my show, honesty, passion, and the truth. I'm bringing it. I mean, guys want me to sugarcoat this? Do you want me to say, it's all fine. No problem. We'll make it work. It's okay. No, you can't look at it that way. You have to look at it honestly. And honestly, is we got 4 key wide receivers down. Jerry Jeudy may come back. It's going to take a while. The other 3, nope, not coming back. And that's what I'm talking about. That hurts. That hurts big time. And you don't think that other teams that are playing us are going to sit back going, oh my gosh, did we dodge a bullet? You think? Of course they did. Of course they're excited. Nobody wants to see a player. Well, the Raiders, you probably do. But a lot of teams don't want to see players injured and their career gone. They really don't. But they're going to take advantage of the fact they're not there. You don't think the Raiders are going to take advantage of the fact? You don't think the Washington Commanders or Redskins or whatever their name, they want to bring back the Redskin name, you don't think they're not taking notice of this? You don't think so? I do. Absolutely, I do. All right, I continue. Let's see. The Broncos are okay. Asked Sean Payton if the Broncos are snake bit. Payton said, and I quote, "I don't believe in being snake bit. We have a really good off-season What? You have a really good off-season program. Then why are these guys getting injured? If you have a really good off-season program, these guys should not be getting injured. It's conditioning, it's strengthening, it's exercising, it's stretching. What? I don't get what you're saying, Sean. You're saying that you have a really good off-season program? Then why isn't it working? Huh? That's what I want to know. Continue. We have a number of players coming back like Simmons and Mike McGlinchey. These guys are all ready and healthy for Vegas. Good, end quote. Good. They're on defense. Hello, Sean, they're on defense. We're talking about wide receivers. We're talking about the injuries these guys are getting that are season ending. That's what I'm talking about. Sure, it's great to have Justin Simmons back and Mike McGlinchey. Those are great players to have back. I'm talking about offensive weapons, wide receivers. That's what I'm talking about. And you just dodged the bullet, or dodged the question, I should say. You dodged the question. Oh, I don't believe in being snake bit. Snake bit, we're talking about receivers. That's what we're talking about, Sean. That was the question posed to you. Do you feel that the Broncos are snake bit? I mentioned that last week. I said the Broncos to me are snake bit because this is happening year after year after year. Is it the turf that they're playing on in practice? I don't know. It's got to be something because this happened under Nathaniel Hackett. I mentioned this last week. This happened under Nathaniel Hackett's watch, and now it's happening again under Sean Payton. Those two coaches are totally 180-degree different, but the results are still the same. So what is the common denominator? In my opinion, it's one of three things. It's conditioning, it's strengthening, and it's turf. One of those three things, or all three, have to be addressed. Something is causing these guys to go down. And not just down for, a week or two or three. No, down for the season. Again, this has got to stop. And somebody has to figure out what the actual problem is. Could be a combination. But something has to change. If not, the Broncos are not going to get out of this losing streak that they've been in, guys, for 6 years. That's not going to happen. Unless we get players healthy and we get chemistry and whatnot, it's nothing's going to change. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. Go ahead and say what you want on the comment line. It's okay. I'll read it. I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm being honest. I'm being passionate. I'm telling you from how this guy feels. Me, Bronco Bill. That's how I feel. We have got to make changes somehow, some way. Not sure what it is, but things need to change because guys are dropping like flies. All right. Big E, Bronco says, because it's his first season put in the training in after 5 bad seasons of off-season training. All right, I'm trying to wrap my head about what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. This is the first season under Sean Payton and his training staff and all that after 5 bad seasons. But so basically, Big E, are you trying to tell me that 5 bad seasons that Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy? I don't think Jerry Jeudy's been with the Broncos for 5 years. I know KJ Hamler and Tim Patrick haven't been with the Broncos 5 years. I don't think so. So maybe let's reduce that to 2 or 3 bad seasons of training and stuff. And now Sean Payton comes in and changes things and mixes things up with different training. So you're saying that possibly the body's reacting, not reacting as quickly as probably that could be true too. That could be true too. Never thought of that. That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. Thanks for pointing that out, Big E. Following up on that topic or that comment, Big E said the previous training staff has been here for 5. This is the first season of the new training staff. Yes, yes, they have been. I was referring to the players that haven't been with this training staff for all 5 of those years. But you're right. It doesn't matter. I mean, if these guys are conditioned to do something a certain way, and now Sean Payton comes in with his training staff and says, no, we need to do it this way because that's how that's what works, then yeah, a person's body may not react 100% correct into adapting to that new type of training. Good point. Very, very good point. Thanks, Big E, for chiming in. We always appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. This was going to be the topic. There was a Jerry Jeudy injury in practice was the topic. This was going to be the topic, and I'm going to make it my topic part 2. Here it is. Finally, Randy Gradishar finally receives nomination for the National Football League's Hall of Fame. It took 46 unbelievable, ridiculous years for him to receive the honor. but it's the first Orange Crush defensive player from 1977, and the Broncos' first Super Bowl appearance will be enshrined in Cooperstown. Congratulations, Randy Gradishar. Finally. Holy smokes. Why would it take 46 years? The Broncos defense in 1977, and for those of you who don't know, I became a Broncos fan in 1976. So it's not like I jumped on that, and I'm not a bandwagoner, so I never say I jump on the bandwagon because that's not who this guy is. I was a Broncos fan, diehard Broncos fan in 1976. They went to the Super Bowl in 1977. Been a Broncos fan ever since. Favorite team, period. Okay. That being said, I remember that 1977 team and the Orange Crush and the Bronco Mania that swept Colorado, that basically literally swept the NFL. My mom was back in Littleton, Colorado with my oldest sister at the time. My oldest sister lived there from 1975 to 1985. Anyways, my mom went back there. She came back. She went back there at Christmas time in 1977 or 76, whatever it was before they went to Super Bowl. Anyways, so she came back and she's like, Bill, she's like, my gosh, that city of Denver is everything's orange, everything's blue. It is orange everywhere. You can't walk anywhere without people wearing something orange. That's what I love. That's the Bronco Mania I grew up with. That's the Bronco Mania that just engulfed me to be a Broncos fan. And ever since I've been. And I bleed orange and blue. I mean, when you cut my veins, people say, my gosh, man, I thought blood was red. Not with you, it's orange. Well, yes, literally it's red. But you know what I'm saying, guys. I'm a Broncos fan. And Randy Gradishar, number 53, Randy Gradishar should have been in the Hall of Fame 20, 30 years ago. Easily. Absolutely easily. Why isn't Carl Mecklenburg in? Why aren't these guys from 1977 and Broncos lore and Bronco Mania not in the Hall of Fame? That's what frustrates me about this committee in the Hall of Fame. I mean, who should have gone in with Randy Gradishar? It should have been Mike Shanahan. Nope, not Mike Shanahan. No, some guy named Bruce Perry or something from Detroit Lions. I mentioned that last week. Frustrates the heck out of me. Why? What did he do? Oh, he won a couple of back-to-back championships. Not Super Bowls, not back-to-back Super Bowls. What is the highest echelon in the NFL? In championships. Not championships in the AFL and before there was a Super Bowl. No, that means nothing to me. Obviously, it means to the committee because they held that to a higher esteem than Mike Shanahan. Well, thank goodness Randy Gradishar is going into the Hall of Fame. Now, yes, he does have to, and let me read that here. Gradishar still has to be approved by the 50 voters of the final selection committee. However, they almost always rubber stamp the subcommittee's recommendations. Good. Because if they overturn this one, this guy is going to go nuclear on my show. Absolutely nuclear. And possibly even writing the NFL commissioner's office or whatever. This is a travesty. It's an absolute travesty to not have these guys in the Hall of Fame. It's a disgrace. Absolute disgrace to the game that these guys played with their heart and soul. I continue. Listen to this. Gradishar played in 151 of a possible 151 games during his 10-year career. Did you hear what I said, guys? Randy Gradishar, back in the day where you could knock somebody's block off and there wouldn't be a penalty. Randy Gradishar played in 151 of the 151 games in his 10-year career. He didn't miss a single game. No injury, no concussion protocol. Well, they probably didn't have the whole concussion protocol back then, but he didn't miss a single game. Not got injured. He's a middle linebacker. Randy Gradishar was a linebacker. He was the heart and soul of the Orange Crush. Right smack dab in the middle of that defense. Didn't miss a single freaking game. And it took 46 years for these idiots on the Hall of Fame committee to realize this guy needs to be recognized. I could have said that the year he retired. Not these guys. Not the committee. Oh, no. Yeah. No, okay, maybe he's maybe he's worthy. No, not maybe he's worthy. Not maybe at all. 10-year career. Never missed a single freaking game. Okay? And hang on. And he started his career in 1974. He retired after the 1983 season, the year John Elway was named the Broncos quarterback. Congratulations, Randy Grashar. Yes, congratulations. Thank goodness the committee finally got their head out of their proverbial keister and realized that this guy's worthy. Now let's make more 1977 Orange Crush players into the Hall of Fame. You got Randy Grashar. Let's follow up by Rulon Jones. How about Carl Mecklenburg? How about those guys? Huh? How about Louis Wright? I know that was a little bit later down, but still. How about these guys? They need to be in the Hall of Fame. They need to be recognized. I got an absolute burr up my saddle. Not that I ride horses, because I don't. But you know what? I got whatever you want to say. I got a feeling the NFL cannot stand the Broncos for whatever reason. I don't know why. I absolutely don't know why. And it's so frustrating and irritating to me that Bronco players don't get the recognition they should. I mean, look how long it took for Bronco players to even get in the Hall of Fame. Like forever. Terrell Davis spent years, and he finally got in. That took forever. Shannon Sharp. Come on, man. Really? Rod Smith needs to be inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And he does. Absolutely, he needs to be inducted. All right, guys. I know. I'm going on to my soapbox, but I'm just beyond up to here, way up to here, with the way the Broncos are treated when it comes to players that should be recognized and put into Hall of Fame for their accomplishments. Absolutely. And Mike Shanahan needs to be in there the next year eligible, 2025. He needs to be in there, plain and simple. Forget this Barry guy or whoever this guy is. No, forget those guys. Okay? Let's get modern, guys. Let's use our heads, okay? Let's use our heads. All right. Now, okay, I can finally get to somebody else being stupid besides the committee and the Hall of Fame. Yep. I guess I could have used this as a jackass of the week for the Hall of Fame committee, but I'm not. I'm gonna reserve it for this guy. Here we go. This week's jackass of the week. Well, I guess I probably shouldn't say this week, because every time I need a jackass of the week, this guy pops up, and I appreciate it. Kind of getting tired of saying his name, but if he's going to be this stupid all the time, then he's going to be the jackass of the week. What can I say? Here it is. Whenever I need a jackass of the week, Antonio Brown shows up. That's right, Antonio Brown, that guy who was naked in a public pool and all that other stuff he'd done, taking his jersey off, on the sidelines and acting crazy. And yeah, anyways, here we go. Antonio Brown has been ordered by a judge to be arrested for unpaid child support. Yes, guys, you can be arrested for unpaid child support. That is a bill that needs to be paid. Thank God I don't have that, because, we had our son and he's got a great family now. But anyways, you need to pay child support. You need to do what you need to do. And I'm not going to get into the whole, if you have a child, you need to be responsible. Everybody knows that. If you're bringing a child into the world, you need to be responsible. Period. That's just being a parent. Okay. I know things happen. I'm not going down that road. Okay. Let me continue. According to Miami-Dade County court documents, Brown missed $15,000 in child support payments to his ex, Wiltris Jackson. This isn't the first time Brown's arrest has been issued. Back in April, he missed $30,000 in payments, but did pay the money to avoid being behind bars. Okay, so that tells me he doesn't really want to pay the money. But when he's pressed against the wall, so to speak, or jail cell. When he's pushed up against the wall or a jail cell, he's like, okay, I can come up with the money. Why don't you just pay the freaking thing? Why are you not paying it? That's what I don't get. Just pay it. Okay? Everybody has to pay bills. I don't like paying bills. I have electric bills. I have gas bills. I have car payment. I have mortgage. I don't like paying it. But guess what? If you don't, now it's twice as hard. Okay? Now it's twice because now you got the back payment and you got the current payment. So now you got to come up with double. Why not just do it? Antonio, you're not that stupid. Well, maybe you are because you're on my Jackass of the Week quite a bit. But you do stupid things. Just pay the lady. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't like her anymore. Maybe things just went sour. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Because you, Antonio, had a child with this woman, and now you are responsible. And I understand, guys, at times that, the woman makes more money. And, okay, she doesn't make more money than Antonio Brown, okay? She doesn't. So she's entitled to that. But $15,000, holy smokes. Well, hey, when you're making a lot of money or you didn't make a lot of money, then a lot of money needs to go out. That's just the way it works. It's just the way it works. Antonio, when are you ever going to wake up? When are you ever going to learn? When are you going to ever grow up? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to say the last comment because I don't think that's ever happened. Wow. Unbelievable. All right. Clayton Huron, welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show. Thanks for chiming in the chat. Always love seeing you. Clayton says, man, I loved what I saw. Saw though Russ looking great. Going through his receivers and using his legs. Yes, I agree. He was. Absolutely. And I assume you're talking about the 49er game. That was great. If you missed my segment on Russell Wilson and go back to the beginning part and watch it from the beginning, what I said was when Sean Payton says that Russell Wilson is going to play 20 to 24 snaps and he only plays 12 and the result on that drive only resulted in the field goal, why would he not keep him out there? Why would he pull him? And that kind of thing. Yes, Russell Wilson did run a lot. Maybe that's why he pulled him. He didn't want him to get hurt. Maybe Russell Wilson was running too much because the offensive line can't seem to block anybody. That's a possibility as well. So, yes, Russell Wilson was running well. He was getting first downs. He was doing what he had to do. But I don't want to see Russell Wilson being the running back. I want to see him being the quarterback. I don't want to see him running like that because all it takes is one shot. And then what? Maybe that's why Stidham was in there with the first string, like I mentioned earlier in the show. Maybe that's why. I don't know. All right. Former Broncos cornerback Ronald Darby has signed with the Baltimore Ravens on a 1-year, $1.7 million contract. Wow. Was that a far cry from the 3-year, $30 million contract that the Broncos offered him just a couple years ago? Yes, Darby has injury problems. He can't stay on the field. I understand that. But for the Ravens to sign him for 1 year, $1.7 million, that's a steal. That's an absolute steal. Because the bottom line is we could have kept Ronald Darby. We could have kept him to, be in that cornerback room for some of these young rookie guys. And I'm getting into that. Here we go. The Broncos should have brought back Darby to help the cornerback room, which is a bit uncertain behind Patrick Surtain and Kawan Williams, who isn't a lock to play in week 1. No, Patrick Surtain will play in week 1. Talking about Kawan Williams. He's not a lock to play in week 1. So if he's not a lock to play in week 1, who do we have? We have unproven guys behind. But if we would have kept Ronald Darby, we could have had a solidified cornerback room with Patrick Surtain. Not now. Not now. He's on the Baltimore Ravens. So who do we have? Well, who we have is this. Damari Mathis is unproven, and Tremon Smith is a free agent who has been horrible so far for the Broncos in preseason practice. Wow. So there you go, guys. Who do we have? Who do we have? Okay? I mean, if Kwan Williams can't play in week 1 against the Raiders or week 2 against the Redskins / Commanders, I mean, we're gonna rely on these guys, these unproven guys in Damari Mathis and Tremon Smith, who's been horrid in preseason and practice. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, guys. I don't understand what's happening. I don't get why we're doing what we're doing. I don't get it. Hey, George Payton, I thought you were better than this, man. I thought you had a focus. I thought you had a plan. I thought you had, a desire to bring in the best players possible. And then you let certain players go. I mean, you let Brandon McManus leave. You let Darby leave. Yes, he's been injured. I get that. Yes, he's been injured. But you have to keep the players that that have been good for your team. You can't just let them walk. I mean, we let McManus leave, and now Jacksonville Jaguars are stacked to have him. Of course, they're stacked to have him. He's a great kicker. Okay, so he missed some. Well, who we bring in? Fry, who we let go. Then we kept who's the other guy we let? We kept the guy from Dallas. Used to be on the Saints. I mean, we keep him. Yeah, yes, he made 2 field goals and 2 extra points in the game against 49ers. That's great. I hope he keeps it up. But he's got issues where he misses kicks, and we can't have that. And nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that that McManus was perfect, but he was perfect in that Super Bowl 50 2016 year. You can't deny that. Has he lost a little bit? Sure. It's been 6 years since then. But I know. All right. Calm me down here, Boana. Calm me down, man. Calm me down. Boana Beast in the house. Boana, I'm glad to have you, man. Says, hey, Bill. I say, hey, Boana, thanks for chiming in. Like always appreciate you in the chat and in the house. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me take one deep breath. All right. I got several more to go, so let's go through this. I don't want to make this an hour and a half show, guys. Try and do my best. Here we go. The very unhappy Jonathan Taylor of the Colts has been granted permission to seek a trade. The Colts are looking for a first-round draft pick or collection of picks that equates to a number 1 draft pick per sources. The Colts are not willing to do a deal to keep Taylor. Therefore, he's basically a free agent. He can shop around. The trade offer by the Dolphins this past few days was rejected by the Colts. Now, I don't know what that trade was. They didn't come out into detail and say what it was. But if they're asking for a first, I don't think there's any way the Denver Broncos can do it. Would I like to have a Jonathan Taylor? Oh, heck yeah. Come on, man. Why not? Why not have a Jonathan Taylor? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the Broncos, first off, I don't think the Broncos have a first-round draft pick they can give away. Obviously, they don't because the Sean Payton trade and the Russell Wilson trade. So that's not going to happen. Do they want equivalent value for a number 1? What are they going to want? Cortland Sutton? Well, Jerry Jeudy's hurt, so that ain't going to happen. So who are they going to want? I don't think Denver has anybody to trade with or to trade away. And I don't want them to trade away anybody. I would love a Jonathan Taylor just to say, hey, Denver, I would love to come over. But because he's under contract with the Colts, that's not going to happen. He's not an unrestricted free agent. He's a restricted, not even a free agent. He's still on the Colts team. And in order to get Jonathan Taylor, you're going to have to give up a first-round draft pick and or multiple picks that would equal equivalent to a first round. It's not going to happen from Denver. So the Broncos are not going to be able to get Jonathan Taylor unless something miraculously happens. Miraculously happens. I don't see it. I would love it. I would want him on the Broncos team. It's not going to happen. All right. Jalen McLaughlin. Jalen McLaughlin is having a great preseason. He's a running back for the Broncos. Undrafted running back. Oh, wait a minute. I mean, I know that Terrell Davis was a draft pick and as a 6th-round draft pick, but just like Terrell Davis, McLaughlin is in the same somewhat similar position. Let me continue. He's the team's leading rusher with 65 yards on 11 carries for an average of 5.9 yards a carry. He also has 20 yards on 3 catches. Should he be the Broncos starting running back come game 1 against the Vegas Raiders? My opinion, absolutely 100% should be the starting running back. Here's why. All right. I'm not taking anything away from Javonte Williams, none whatsoever, but he's coming off a catastrophic knee injury and surgery. Yes, he played well against the 49ers, but he didn't gain all that many yards, and he was used very sparingly. The Broncos have to use him very sparingly entering the season, because if they don't, they could put him in a situation where he gets injured again. And this may be career ending. Okay. I'm just saying, guys, you got to bring him back slowly. Well, who else are you going to put in there as your bell cow? Pyrene's a good runner. He doesn't have the strength and the power that a Jalen McLaughlin has. Jalen McLaughlin will run over you just like Javonte Williams will. But we don't want to put Williams in that situation until we know 100% that he can take hits over and over and over in a game. You don't want to put him in that position to get hurt again. You don't. I'm saying start Jalen McLaughlin. And here's why I say that he reminds me, doesn't remind me of Terrell Davis, but the situation. Terrell Davis was about ready to leave. This is ironically against San Francisco in Japan many years ago, when Terrell Davis felt like he wasn't going to get in the game. He was a 6th-round draft pick, wasn't going to get in the game, wasn't really playing that well. And all of a sudden, Mike Shannon says, hey, go in there on special teams. Want to see what you can do. Bam. He hits the punt or the kickoff return. I believe it was a kick returner. I believe it was a kick return. And he lit him up like a Roman candle, knocked him into next year. And all of a sudden, Mike Shannon goes, whoa, this guy's a player. This guy can play well. Puts him in as a running back. Boom. As Terrell Davis and others said, the rest is history. Jalen McLaughlin could be in that same situation. Okay? Nobody's giving him a chance. He was an undrafted running back. Let me continue. Sure, Javonte Williams is experienced, but he is also coming off a horrific knee injury. Let's work Williams in slowly and start with McLaughlin. I agree. Start with McLaughlin. See what the kid can do. Okay? The guy's undrafted. You don't think for 1 minute this guy isn't going to want to make the team? Come on, man. Seriously? You're given an opportunity to be on the Broncos or any team for that matter, but especially the Broncos, because that's what we're talking about is my team. And, you know, he comes onto the Broncos undrafted, and they're willing to give him a workout. He's going to make the best he can. He's going to want to fight as hard as he can to make the team, period. He may not be the number one running back if Williams is 100% healthy and shows that he can stay on the field and be 100% healthy. That's the bottom line. So if Williams can't be that guy, why not put in McLaughlin? Let him do what he can. Let him prove himself. My philosophy is this: put him in there, see what he can do. If he can't make it happen, take him out. But give him that opportunity. You got to give him that opportunity because you don't know, and he doesn't know. But you have to give him the chance. How else are you gonna know? That's what. Excuse me. That's what Mike Shanahan did with Terrell Davis. He gave him a chance, and Terrell Davis made the best of that chance. And guess where Terrell Davis ended up in? Hall of Fame. I'm not saying McLaughlin will. I'm just saying, give him the chance. It's up to the player to make it the best he possibly can be. Give the kid a chance. That's all I'm saying. Sean, wake up. Give him a chance. All right. Speaking of Sean Payton, head coach Sean Payton, he isn't pleased or happy about the following. He said, and I quote, "The Bronco team got tired too quickly during joint practices with the Rams on Wednesday." End quote. Why are they getting tired? Oh, is the conditioning and strengthening too much? Well, if it's too much, then why are these guys getting injured? Is it overkill, maybe? I mean, now he's upset and unhappy because they're getting tired too quickly. They should be used to the altitude. What in heaven's name is going on with this team? I'm dumbfounded. I'm absolutely speechless. And everybody out there that watching this show knows that that's tough to do with me, to make me speechless. I continue. Peyton has had a major focus on strength and conditioning. There it is. Strength and conditioning since he arrived. One of the things connected to the Wednesday was false starts. Way too many by the offensive players. There you go. Now, if it's strength and conditioning, okay, physically strength and conditioning, okay, I get it. What about up here? What about up here, Sean? Strength and conditioning of your mind. Make it a point. Make it a point, a strong point of emphasis. Do not jump off sides. Do not move when you're not supposed to on offense till the freaking ball's hiked. Don't do it. Obviously, the strength and conditioning is from the shoulders down, not up here where it needs to be. That has to go, that has to coincide with the physical. And if it doesn't coincide with the physical, then you have these issues. So now what? We're in week 2. Well, where'd my focus? There we go. We're in week 2, or actually going into week 3 of the preseason, the last preseason, and we're having false starts in joint practices? Are you serious? You kidding me? That should not even be a point of emphasis, but apparently it is, because according to Sean Payton, he's focusing on strength and conditioning. Yeah, how about up here? How about up here? Not happening. That needs to be addressed. Oh my gosh. I'm just absolutely beside myself. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just absolutely beside myself today. I mean, this stuff is just tearing me apart. All right. Garrett Bowles, Broncos left tackle, has been criticized for his play as well as the penalties he seems to get every single week. However, Russell Wilson has come to Bowles' defense. Oh, boy. Here we go. Wilson said, and I quote, Garrett Bowles is one of the best what? Garrett Bowles is one of the best tackles in the game? Holy crap. Russell Wilson, are you serious? One of the best tackles in the game? Oh, you mean he's good at tackling and holding. That's what you mean. Oh, that's not what you mean? Wow. Okay, hang on. Let me continue. I'm still quoting Russell Wilson. He's so athletic. Him having that severe injury last year and then to come back the first time stepping back on the field this week and over the past couple of weeks in practice, he's looking great. Oh, did you catch that? Catch that? Let me back up. This week and over the past couple of weeks in practice, he's looking great. End quote. Of course he is. The defense is not going to try and run him over and knock him on his back and give him a concussion or injure him or twist his leg away. They're not going to do that. It's the same team. I know. We're talking joint practices, okay? Well, they're still not going to come out there that hard. The Rams don't want to take out the Bronco players, and the Bronco players don't want to take, well, maybe they do, but they're not allowed to. There's certain guidelines. There's certain restrictions. You cannot hit this way. You can't hit that way. You can't, there's a lot of stipulations you cannot do in a joint practice. And for Russell Wilson to come out and say that Garrett Bowles is one of the best offensive tackles in the league, seriously? And then he's looked great the past couple of weeks in practice? Of course, it's freaking practice. It's not a real game where Garrett Bowles doesn't have a freaking clue how to block somebody. I mean, I'm being harsh, guys. I'm sorry. I'm being harsh. I'm telling you like it is. You know, and if you've watched this show, if you watch this show many, many times, you know I'm saying it from the heart. I'm saying it from the facts. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I'm not. Go back and look how many penalties Garrett Bowles has. How many constantly, the fact he cannot block a guy coming off the edge. Go back and look. I'm not making this up. I just don't understand how Russell Wilson can say he's looking great. Sure, in practice, that's different. It's not real live game action. It's not from another team that wants to freaking light you up and blow you up and get back to the quarterback. And Garrett Bowles cannot be that. I mean, Garrett Bowles is not that good. I'm sorry, he's not that good. Okay, blame it on his knee injury, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I mean, his broken leg. Blame it on that. Okay, maybe that's something to do with it this year. How about years past? He didn't have those issues. The issues are right here. And again, I go back to what Sean Payton says about conditioning and strength. Yes, it's from the neck down, but it needs to be from the neck up also. And that's the frustration that I have with this team. Doesn't seem to be there. Does not seem to be there. And I go back to what Big E says. And Big E also said that, let's see, let me go back to it so I don't misquote. Let me bring it back up again. He says, previous training staff has been here for 5. This is the first season of the new training staff. Okay, that's true. So yes, maybe there is a lot to be said for strength and conditioning, doing things differently. Maybe they're not grasping it. Maybe it's not coming to them as easily. But we don't have much time left, guys, before week 1, September 10th. That's right around the corner. Right around the corner. We don't have much time. Not much time to fix it. That's for dang sure. All right. Let's see. Big E Bronco says, I got from Dallas with 97% regular season last year. Wait a minute. I got from Dallas with 97% regular season last year. I'm not sure I'm getting what you mean. Oh, they got from Dallas with 97% last season. Okay. Okay. Not sure what that means, but I'm okay. I'm down with it. If you can explain what that means, then I'm all good. Big E, bring it. I'll put it up. Big E says, I'm down, Bill. Calm down. You're going to give yourself a stroke. You know what? I probably will. But you know what? Like a lot of people say, he went out doing what he loves to do. And I love doing this. And yeah, you're right. I probably should calm down. Okay. Deep breath. I'm trying my best to calm down, but it's just in my demeanor. I just get wound up on certain things. My wife tells me all the time, you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Yeah, I know. Okay. Big E also says, what do you expect him to say? What do I expect who to say? Russell Wilson? Well, first off, I would expect him not to say it. I mean, if somebody were to ask him, how do you think your offensive line doing? Me personally, I'd probably say, well, it's a work in progress. We're trying to work out the kinks. We have a new offensive coordinator. We have a new, offensive line head coach, and we're just trying to work, through situations that were not the best last year or whatever. Don't sit there and give high praise to Garrett Bowles like he's going into the freaking Hall of Fame. Come on, man. Russell, you know better than that. I know you're trying to make guys, make them feel good, but if you make somebody feel good who doesn't do a good job, I mean, all you're doing is enabling them to continue to do a bad job because you're saying he's doing good. I know. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, let's go on. This one I love, okay? So I'm going to be happy about this one. The only time, well, not happy that's the only time, but the only time the Broncos will wear their all blues, my favorite Broncos uniform, will be the Sunday night home game against the Minnesota Vikings in week 11. All right. That to me is extra special for 2 reasons. One, it's the all blues. Well, actually for 3 reasons. One, it's the all blues, my favorite Bronco uniform. Favorite Bronco uniform ever. I love the orange. I love the blues jerseys. I love the blue pants. Why? Because this orange right here, this orange pops. It jumps off the uniform. It looks awesome. Totally looks awesome. I don't like the orange. Orange jersey's fine. I mean, I don't know. I can't stand the orange rush. Way too much orange. But I'm not getting into that. This for 3, I mentioned it was, my favorite for 3 reasons. 1, it's all blues. 2, it's on Sunday night prime time. So everybody in the country is going to see this guy's favorite Broncos uniform. And it's against the Minnesota Vikings, my NFC favorite team. I didn't say it's my number 1 favorite team. I said it's my favorite NFC team. Okay. Denver Broncos are my favorite overall team. So when the Broncos play the Vikings, I want the Broncos to win, obviously. So to have the Broncos playing my NFC favorite team at Mile High, in Power Field at Mile High, wearing the all blues on Sunday Night Football, yeah, that is classic. That is awesome. Glad. So glad they're not wearing an orange rush in that game. Oh, man, that would make me sick to my stomach. All right.
I just have a couple more topics. Let's go through them real quick. Couple of these are just some fun with what I call good feel topics. All right. Before I get in that, Big Easy was talking about the Dallas kicker. Uh, that's right, the Dallas kicker, Mahar. That's it. It says we got him from Dallas. Was in Dallas. He was 97% in regular season last year. Okay, so there you go. You know, yeah, I welcome that. I welcome that. It's just that everybody talks about the negative, how he missed, 3 kicks in this game or that game or whatever. But yeah, I do like Mahar. Do like Mahar a lot. So let's hope he continues to uh, get better and make the kicks that he needs to make. All right. The Denver Broncos, according to Jeff Legwold, are ranked 23rd out of the 32 NFL teams. This is due to the fact that the people still don't believe in Russell Wilson and the offensive line. We talked on that. I touched on that earlier. If Denver is going to be a force this season, Wilson is going to have to stay upright, and all of that falls on the offensive line and Sean Payton's play calling. I totally agree. Absolutely, totally agree. Problem that I have with that is ranked 23rd. Now, it says that they're up from 25 to 23. That has a lot to do with Sean Payton, but that's only a 2-spot bump. That isn't that much. And that's all because of Russell Wilson. We don't know how Russell Wilson's going to play under Sean Payton's offense. We hope he's going to play well. We hope he stays upright, but that all comes down to the offensive line. And that's the problem I touched on a little earlier. Offensive line is like a sieve. They cannot keep out anybody. Russell Wilson against San Francisco was running for his life. And I know it's preseason, and I know people are working out the kinks, and you're trying to, mix and match this and that, player with scheme and all that. Again, guys, we only have a couple of weeks before regular season. This is not a time to be playing shuffleboard or, I don't know, a puzzle. I know we're trying to put pieces together and make this puzzle look like a well-oiled painting. It's not working out that way. It's starting to look like, my granddaughter's, 6-year-old granddaughter trying to draw something beautiful. She does. Don't get me wrong. I love my granddaughter. She does beautiful work for 6-year-old. But I'm talking about, NFL status. You've got to be able to mesh now. Don't try to figure it out in week 1 like Hackett tried to do last year. Don't try and do it then. It's too late. It's too late. All right. I'm getting worked up again. I'm sorry, Big E. I'm going to calm down. I promise. I got 2 good ending ones. This is the next to the last topic. Here we go, guys. The best running backs in the NFL. The top 11 best running back. Now, I don't know why they don't do 32. It doesn't matter. These are the top 11 running backs in the NFL. Here we go. According to Pro Football Focus. Here we go. Starting out with number 11. Number 11 from the Chargers, Austin Eckler. Okay. Number 10, Javonte Williams of the Broncos. Now, I'm glad that Eckler isn't ahead of Javonte Williams because that would piss me off. Because, Eckler's good and whatnot, but you know how I feel about Chargers. Anyways. Number 9, Tony Pollard of the Cowboys. Now, the reason why I'm reading these off is because I want anybody that is in the chat to chime in and say, no, I don't agree with that spot. Think he might be higher, might be lower, whatever. Anyways, number 9, Tony Pollard of the Cowboys. Number 8, Damon Pierce of the Texans. Number 7, Dalvin Cook of the Jets. Now, in my opinion, I think he would be a little bit higher than that, like closer to 1. But no, he's number 7, pretty much in the middle of the pack. Number 6, Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. So far, he's on the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, number 6. Thought he would be higher. Number 5, Saquon Barkley of the Giants. Number 4, let's see if anybody can guess who number 1 is. Number 4, Derrick Henry of the Titans. Number 3, Josh Jacobs of the Raiders. Notice none of the 11 down to 3 have involved the Kansas City Chiefs running back. That's interesting. I thought the Chiefs would at least have a running back in there. They don't have a running back in all of the 11. Number 2, Nick Chubb of the Browns. Now, who do you guys think is number 1 running back according to Pro Football Focus? Who's the number 1 running back in the entire NFL? At least the top 11. Well, obviously, number 1 in the NFL. Who do you guys think that is? You ready? Want me to reveal it, or do you want me to hold on? I'll hold on, see if anybody has an answer. We're looking for the number 1 overall best, or not best, but number 1 running back so far in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. I've already run down the other 10. You tell me if you have an idea who the number 1 running back is, according to Pro Football Focus. I'll reveal that answer right after this very last topic of the show. And before I go out, I will reveal who is the number 1 running back according to Pro Football Focus. Here we go. According to The Athletic, they ranked all 30 of the league's stadium as the best to the worst. The Chargers and Rams share a stadium along with the Jets and Giants. Therefore, that's why there's only 30 stadiums and not 32. Okay? The Broncos have been home to their let me back up. The Broncos home since 2001 is ranked number 10. The Athletic said, and I quote, "It's still one of the best stadiums to watch a game. It was voted top 5 on 3 of the ballots. The Broncos have also sold out every home game since 1970, and they're the longest sellout streak in the entire NFL," end quote. That's why they're number 10. Not only that, but the Broncos, think about it. They've sold out every home game since 1970. All right, guys, don't think, oh, well, we had no shows. It doesn't matter. No shows. If the tickets are sold, it's considered sold out. It's not considered sold out if the stadium is packed. It's considered sold out if all of the tickets are sold. Since 1970, the Broncos have sold out every single home game. That is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And you know what that tells me? That tells me we have 100% dedicated, devoted Broncos fans. That's why I love this team. That's why I love this city. That's why I love Broncos country, because we are solid. We do not jump on and jump off, because we are not wagoners, not whatsoever. Everybody out there knows who I call the wagoners. We are not them. We don't live in LA. We don't reside in LA. We are not the wagoners. We are Broncos country, and we support our team, win or lose. And we are there to sell out. And by golly, we had better show up this year, guys. That's all I'm saying. Bronco fans need to show up this year and show support for this team, show support for what the new ownership has done. $100 million in an upgraded, magnificent scoreboard, concessions, escalators, what's the other one? Broncos store, all of that. They are putting money into this team. We need to support them, guys. We need to be there. We need to show up. We need to show our support like we always do, because we're Broncos country and we're Broncos strong. That's what we do, guys. That's what we do. All right, let's go back and see who got the right answer. Is it? Big E Bronco says Ed McCaffrey. Not Ed McCaffrey. Yeah, not Ed McCaffrey. His son, Christian McCaffrey. Yes, Christian McCaffrey is the number 1 running back in the entire NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. My thought on that is, though, McCaffrey has been injured lately. Is he still considered the number 1? Well, unless somebody knocks you off, you're still considered number 1. Yes, you are correct. Big E, good call. Good call. Clayton Huron says, new sheriff in town. I love what I'm seeing. Yep, good. I'm loving what I'm seeing too. I just want to keep it going. I want to keep it going. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay. Now we're going to switch gears. Clayton Huron says, talking about wicked weather, says wicked weather in Wisconsin the past 2 days, 115 degrees. Clayton, you're kidding me, right? 115 degrees in Wisconsin? Holy crap. You guys are near the Canadian border and it's that hot? Wow. Holy smokes, man. I thought we had it bad when we had, I think our highest so far this summer was 106, maybe 105, 106. Wow. Well, good, Clayton. I Wow, you talk about a drastic change. You're going from 115 down to 70s. Well, good. Maybe maybe that'll stay that way. But I can't believe 115 degrees in Wisconsin. That's unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about, Clayton. That's what I'm talking about right there. I'm there, baby. Let's go Broncos. Still sticking with my guns. 11-14 wins. Now that you brought that up, Clay, I'm glad you brought that up. Next week, after the last preseason game, which is tomorrow against the Rams at Invesco Field, Empower Field at Mile High, tomorrow night, I believe it's 6 o'clock my time, Pacific time, 7 o'clock Mountain time, Denver time. Next Friday, I'm going to do my predictions, Broncos predictions, as to what I think the Broncos record will be going into the season. It's gonna be tough because we don't have some top receiver. We don't have Patrick. We don't have KJ Hamler. We don't have Jerry Jeudy. We don't have Jalen Virgil. So it's gonna be tough to predict. But I'm gonna see how tomorrow's game. How it wraps up and how we look and that kind of thing. And then next Friday, I will give that prediction. So thanks for bringing that up, Clayton. Really appreciate it. Thanks for reminding me, by the way. Kind of slipped my mind. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks to everybody that's in the chat. Really appreciate it. So that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Hit the like button on your way out. Give a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. To everybody in the chat, as always, I give big shout out to everybody in the chat because you are taking your time to be here, to watch this show, to chime in, to give your comments. I really appreciate it. Cannot do this show as good as it is without you guys. You guys are the backbone of the show. So to Avatar, to Big E Bronco, to Clayton Haran, to Bawani Beast, really, really do appreciate every single one of you in the chat, every single one of you with your comments. Thank you so much. Week in and week out for being a part of the MHRT network, MHRT family, and Broncos Breakdown family. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so, so much. You guys mean the world. Appreciate it. Can't emphasize that enough. You guys know what the shows are Monday through Friday. We'll go through it real quick. Monday is the Cluster Puck. Tuesday is 5280, followed by No Nonsense and Whiskey. Wednesday is Wild Wild West. Thursday is what is Thursday? I forgot it. Oh, Orange or Brew. And then on Friday, this show, once again, next week will be the season prediction of what I feel the Broncos will do and their record and all that. So stay tuned for that. Be back here next Friday live once again, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, guys, thanks so much. One more time. Clayton Haran says, smack that like button on the way out. I totally agree. Thanks, Clayton, for always having my back, always having the show's back. Really, really appreciate it. Once again, guys, thanks again for showing up. Thanks for being part of the show. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will see you next Friday on the Prediction Show. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.